open the floodgates or shut them in Israel. Planners just approved Israel's first national outline to prevent flooding, which for anyone who's ever been in Tel Aviv when it rains, this is crucial. To discuss more, I am joined in studio now by our I-24 News correspondent, Joe Brown. And Joe, what's been surprising us all day is the fact that this is the first ever plan. It seems like this is something that maybe should have been in place years ago. So why now? What details can you share?
Well, there's a running joke in Israel that the country is better at dealing with missiles than it is with rain. And there is actually a degree of truth to it, because whenever there's even the tiniest bit of rain, streets close, people refuse to go outside. You can see in some of the videos there, that's what tends to happen. The rivers will overflow and this will flood onto the streets. And now the Israeli government is finally trying to do something about it. They're investing over 1 billion shekels. This is around about $250 million. And they are creating 13 projects around the country over the next 5 years to try and prevent this from happening. One of the things that they're doing is they're creating what's called urban sponges. So these are areas in the country which they will essentially siphon water off into. They tend to be more arid areas. And this will essentially take up all of the water. But on top of that, one of the main issues, one of the main causes of flooding is the fact that the rivers will overflow. So now they are putting in new mechanisms to try and absorb as much of the water through the basins at its core as much as possible. But to answer your question, why now? 2 words: climate change. There's been a new study that was put out by the Israeli Meteorological Survey, which was that rainfall over the last 3 decades, since the 90s, has increased massively. I have some of the numbers here in coastal plain areas. So that's, for example, Tel Aviv, Herzliya, Netanya. This has increased by 35%, the rainfall.
Wow.
In valleys, it's increased by 30%. And in the mountains in northern Israel, it's increased by 20%. And not only is this an issue for the people living there, it's an issue for the people who want to live there. One thing that Israel is trying to do to entice some of the wealthier people to the country is they are building in areas such as southern Netanya. But with these floods, this makes these areas barely livable. So if they are able to sort this out and to keep the water levels as low as possible, then they're able to get more of a go-ahead on these bills, and they're able to create more homes.
It certainly sounds like they're putting the money where the plan is to try and fix this problem. And I know we don't see this rain that often, these floods that often, but when we do, Joe, there have been some deadly examples that we do. We have a history of biblical floods here in Israel, and even in past recent years, we have seen the dangers that it can cause.
Yes, the way I describe this to people from England, because they always say like, oh, it's raining all the time here, so what? In England, and I'm assuming in a lot of other countries with similar climates, there's rain constantly, but it's very gentle, it's pitter-patter. When there's rain here, it is brutal. It's close to monsoon levels. And there have been many instances around this. In Tel Aviv in 2020, there was a very tragic case in which a couple got stranded in an elevator in their basement. It was cut off because of the flooding. The electrical systems faulted and the elevator got filled up with water, and tragically they drowned. This is an issue in older buildings. They lived in an older building in southern Tel Aviv, but there are issues with places with older buildings and older cities tending to be the poorer cities with the older drainage system. So hopefully over the next 5 years, with this money that's being pumped into it, we might be able to see some changes.
Certainly something that it seems was long overdue, but at least it's happening now. Correspondent Joe Brown breaking it down for us. Thank you very much.